Hello, people. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Sci Fi Month review. This is review number 12, I believe, of the third Transformers movie in the Michael Bay franchise, and this is Dark of the Moon, 2011 film that I saw in the theater. And while I did have a good time with it in the theater, my feelings changed after I saw the fourth one, and I'll tell you why. I got to give my positives of the film first. First of all, they did make a lot of changes that I did agree with compared to the second one. Like at least this one had a plot. It wasn't like there were 50, things strung together. Like in the second one, where there really was no plot. It was just subplot after subplot after subplot mixed into one. Second, I did like the action. I thought this action was the best of the three films of before the fourth one came out. And third, I think the ending, there's some, entertainment value in that. And they actually you could see that the camera shows you all the action. Is pretty much a spectacle in the last 40 minutes. So it's it's a fitting conclusion, I guess. It should have been this should have been the last movie. I don't think there needed to be a fourth one. But that's it with the positives, because this film has a ton of problems, and I don't like it anymore because of that. First of all, why was this movie just as long? It was just as long as the second one. Why did we need another 2.5 hour movie? No, I know you wanted to make this your epic conclusion, but the main thing is there's way too many characters in this movie. When you think about it, the second one had a lot of characters. This one added even more. You took out Megan Fox, you put another girl, some British chick with big lips, good looking. I'm not gonna lie, but Michael Bay just put her in there to be the eye candy of the film. The first time you see her ass in our face. She's wearing a dressy button down, white button down, and her panties, and that's it. Granted, I'm a guy and I love seeing an ass shot of a woman, and I'm not gonna lie about that. But this is a Transformers movie. This is not a Victoria's Secret documentary. And lo and behold, she's a Victoria's Secret model. And she was also in Mad Max Fury Road, and people are giving that movie the pass. Yeah, I don't understand the stupidity of the general public either. Rosie Huntington Whiteley is her name. She's dating Jason Statham, I believe. Yeah, he's a good guy. I don't think she's horrible. I think she's okay, but she's just there. She's not a badass. She's just there with Shia LaBeouf, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm leaving you," and then you don't see her until halfway through the end. And she serves no purpose. That's the thing. I want a woman that serves a purpose in a Transformers movie, at least to make it more tolerable. Shia LaBeouf is not the problem here. He's trying his best. He's more mature in this one than in the first two, and he's trying to work his way up after college. He wants to make something of himself. But like I said, there's too many characters that annoy him here. You got Ken Jeong, who was not needed in this film. He was there to be another comic relief that didn't pay off. You have John Malkovich, who's an asshole. You have freaking Frances McDormand, good actress from Fargo, and she's completely useless in the movie. She's just a bitch. Yay. You have John Turturro coming back. Thank God he doesn't take his pants off in this movie, because I was tired of that in the first two. Then you have Wheelie and another robot that's like got like this blue hair, and he sounds jive like he talks like this, and I'm like, just Michael Bay, why do you have to give these robots stupid accents, or they like talk like this? I'm like, that was just dumb. And just even the robots, they had to add some new robots. Like instead of just Megatron fighting Optimus by himself at the end, you had to have another robot named Sentinel Prime, voiced by, yes, the late Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, rest in peace, sir. You were not the problem with this movie. They just shoehorned in you in there so that they could have a reason for Optimus to, you know, to 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 fight you at the end. But I won't take anything away from Nimoy. He tried the best he could for being an old man, and he came out of retirement to do this. But anyway, Sentinel Prime is basically there, is like to fool Optimus. He's like, "Oh, tell me what happens in Cybertron, blah blah blah," and then he betrays him at the end, of course, because you have to have two villains in this movie. You can't have one; you have to have two. Patrick Dempsey, another actor that is thrown in there. Why? Oh, he's a good-looking guy, and he has the hots for Shia LaBeouf's girlfriend. Why was he needed? He wasn't needed. The end fight with him and Shia LaBeouf is lame. Shia LaBeouf is beating the shit out of him, and I'm like, yay! He's punching the guy from Enchanted. Yay! It's not epic at all. And then the Decepticons. Besides Megatron and Sentinel Prime, you have this like flying bird thing, and then the first hour of this movie is just it drags on and on and on and on, and it's just way too slow. The way the film started was cool. You had they showed shot Cybertron, and then they showed the moon, and that a transformer landed on the moon. That was interesting. It got me intrigued. And then when the movie gets going, it's too much talking. Too much talking, Michael Bay, Aaron Kruger. Why do you feel that you have to put an hour and a half of talking before we get to the good stuff? Why? Did the Avengers do that? Did that movie do that? No. Because the characters, you build them up. Yeah, it takes a while for them to become a team, but that movie had a lot of action, and the first hour did more than this movie. This just drags on, and I'll get to that when I get to Age of Extinction. I'm going to rip that one completely because that one just I hated from the get-go. But this one, and then there's a thing that the humans don't trust the Autobots, so they have to leave and go into a rocket, and then they're like, no, it's a trick so that they can have a strategy to to fool the Decepticons into thinking they left Earth, and no, they like, and then and Optimus is like, surprise, we didn't leave. And it's so predictable, and just, oh man, this film felt long, so long. It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it's just, oh my god, it's painful sometimes. It's just the action when it's there. I'm like, yeah, finally something good is happening, like the scene in the driveway. But you know what movie did that better? Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That highway scene with Winter Soldier is blowing the shit out of the cars, and he's attacking the car that Cap and Black Widow and Falcon are in. That was better than anything in this movie because it didn't feel 30 minutes long, and we didn't have to wait an hour and a half to see that. But anyway, that's another topic for another day. This, back to Dark of the Moon. It feels way too long, and just too much padding, too many characters that we don't need. Stupid humor like, oh, Shia LaBeouf is in the bathroom with Ken Jeong and they think they're gay. Not funny. It's just so forced in there, and I'm sick of that gay humor. It's in everything now, and I'm sick of it. And I'm not even gay, but it's still just it's in bad taste, and I hate that. It's just too much happening. Shia LaBeouf's parents are kind of downsized in the film. They're not really needed in the film, but really, who cares? It's like 15 other characters that they threw into this movie just to pad out the running time. If you don't have enough plot or story or substance, you should not make the movie 2.5 hours. You got to make every minute count. There could be some padding if it's like 5 minutes, but when it goes on for an hour, it's a problem. Yeah, it's a major problem. And just, oh, the movie just goes on and on. Sentinel and Optimus fight, and of course he gets his arm cut off, and of course he kills Sentinel Prime, saying, "Oh, you're the failure," and then of course he kills Megatron in cold blood, and it doesn't feel satisfying because it should have been Optimus and Megatron one on one. We didn't need Sentinel Prime in there to just stir the pot. And saying a Star Trek reference, oh, the needs of the many over the needs of the few. Yeah, because Aaron Kruger thinks he was being clever because he got Leonard Nimoy to play this role. No, you don't need to recite from another franchise. That's not needed. And just it goes on and on. The special effects are great in the movie. I'm not gonna lie. The scene where Shockwave is in the city, wrapped around that building, that looks awesome. The robots look great in the movie. It's probably the best special effects in the franchise. But my God, did the movie need to be this long? No, it didn't. And these movies just don't feel epic enough. If the robots were kicking ass for 2 hours, that would be my movie. I don't need 50 human characters. And this one was made way after the writer's strike, so there was no excuse for this. And I'm tired of movies having all these foreign characters. Megan Fox was a distraction in the first two films, and then you have this new girl just trying to replace her. And then in the fourth one, you have another blonde chick. I'm like, and they have to show ass shots. Yeah, I don't. I guess Michael Bay's an ass man. I am too, but I don't film a woman's ass in a film. I wouldn't do that for my opening. Yeah, and I'm just tired of these movies, man. This one, if this was the last one, I would have been satisfied. Just do a Voltron movie and make it with the robots being front and center, not humans. Seriously, what is with these movies that they have to make them like this? And they make a ton of money. This movie made $1 billion worldwide. And this was years before The Force Awakens came out. And I'm like, why? I know I paid my ticket. I'm to blame, but hey, people overseas love these movies, and yeah, they have some entertainment value, but they're just too long to get into. And I'm sick to death of the stupid humor and 50 different characters that we don't need. You know why this movie worked? Age of Ultron, yeah, there were a lot of characters, but they were fleshed out, and you actually got to know them a bit. And even the one that died, Quicksilver, you got to see him a bit, and he's in most of the film, like as a side character. But Vision, when he was included in that movie, he actually served a purpose. Sentinel Prime was just there to give Optimus a reason to fight two robots instead of one. And this Bumblebee still can't talk in the movie again. Yeah, they ran that joke into the ground. It doesn't work. And the film is just convoluted. There's too many things happening that shouldn't have, and just is it the epic finale that we needed? No, but it could have been better. That's the thing. When I first saw it in the theater, I was like, "This is awesome! It's my favorite movie of 2011." I was wrong. My favorite movie of 2011 was Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, not this, because this is just painfully long and boring, and just too many characters and of the first hour where not much happens. It's mostly Shia LaBeouf in the building talking to John Malkovich about getting a job working in the office, and of course Rosie Huntington Whiteley looking lovely in a white outfit, but just she's eye candy. That's all she is, and it's better than nothing. But still, I want a girl with some kind of, I don't know, class and poise, and actually does something that serves the plot. Not says, "Oh, Megatron, Sentinel's gonna own is gonna make you his bitch." I'm like, you really had to say that to Megatron. Megatron could have crushed her head and squeeze it like a freaking melon and make blood come out of her ears, and yet he sits there and talks to her. Yay! I don't know. But this movie sucks. I know I had the Blu-ray for this movie and I got it for Christmas and then I threw it away because the fourth movie just pissed me off that much that any other movie I just got rid of it, and I said this movie's too painful. It is, and I know Spielberg was the reason why Megan Fox was taken out of this movie, but even if she was in this movie, it still would have made a difference. Let me get some water. You see, Michael Bay, you try to do too much in one movie and you fail. Yeah, you fail. And I was looking forward to this movie in the theater, and I did enjoy myself, like I said, but at home, it didn't hold up. I'm like, on TV, they gave this movie last year, and it was like 4 hours. I'm like, it's just too long. I mean, that's with commercials, but even by itself, the movie is it's padded. It's got padding on top of padding. That's what I'm saying, and it sucks. Don't waste your time with this. If you've seen the first two and hate them, this is more of the same. Good action, good visual effects, good locations, some decent performances from Shia LaBeouf and Josh Duhamel and Tyrese Gibson. I'm never going to say they sucked in the movie because they did the best that they could with the weak material. Because Aaron Kruger can't write, he can suck it, and so can all the makers of these movies. Spielberg as a producer and Michael Bay as the director, and the freaking all these people that don't do the special effects or the sound or whatever. The ones that are responsible for making this train wreck, and just it's a movie that I don't want to see again. It's just too long and boring, and just I saw that, and then I saw Avengers, and I'm like, well, that's how you do it right. You don't just throw 50 characters in there to spiff out the running time. You make them have a purpose. Make each of them have a point. Make them do something interesting. Not talking and talking, then action, then talking and talking, then action, then talking, talking, talking some more, and then action at the end. No, it doesn't work that way. You got to hold my attention. I have to get my attention in the first 10 minutes. If you don't get me, you lose me. And that's all I can say about it. Anyway, that's my rant on Dark of the Moon. It's a sucky sequel. It really should have ended with this, because if we didn't get any more, I would have been happy. Because I would have been like, that's it, it's over. I don't have to suffer through another 2.5 hour movie. And then a few years later, we got Age of Extinction, and that's going to be painful to talk about because that's even longer. Ugh. It's a good thing I'm going to see Deadpool today, because I really want to see it, and that movie's not 2.5 hours. Mercifully, it's an hour and 47 minutes long. Perfect. No 2 hour padding. Some movies don't need to be that long. The pacing, that's what I'm saying. The pacing in these movies are just ass. It's like way too much talking, way too many things happening that are not essential to the plot, and characters that are just, cartoon cutouts are just not needed entirely. So, anyway, that's my rant on Dark of the Moon. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys are awesome. You make me want to do these videos because, believe me, venting out is always a good thing. And I don't like any of these movies, and the fourth one is the last rant. And hopefully, I will not be seeing the fifth one, so don't ask me to review it when that comes out, because I'm done with this franchise with Michael Bay at the helm, because he's just an idiot and just he doesn't know what he's doing anymore. Makes money, but it doesn't deserve it. There's films that flop that deserve it much more than this. Anyway, see you in the next one. After I review Deadpool, I'll review Age of Extinction, and man, I have a lot to say about that. Ugh. But next time, see you guys.